Hello, this is Jenny Fern, and today I'd like to share with y'all some footage from last Sunday, I believe, where I planted up some seeds, some germinated grapefruit seeds. I had gotten some citrus from the grocery store and then also from my parents' house. They have some grapefruits and some oranges. And I ended up getting quite a lot of grapefruit seeds. And I think that was it. So hopefully we'll get some grapefruits going because I love grapefruits. I really do quite enjoy a lot of citrus. And this area that I grow in is very conducive to citrus growing. So it's honestly pretty ideal. So I'm just filling up some cups with some soil here so that I can put these seeds somewhere. So I have been germinating the grapefruit seeds in plastic bags with moist paper towels. With citrus seeds, if you want to grow them, you need to have them in a moist environment. You can't really let these seeds dry out. You want to keep them moist straight from the fruit, put them in something moist until they germinate. I've made the mistake, before I knew really anything about gardening or growing, of saving the citrus seeds that I had, drying them out like you would with other types of seeds. And then I learned the hard way that those do not germinate. The germination rates really suffer the longer the seed has dried out. So you'll notice that there's some mold on the paper towels. Honestly, I haven't had any problems with trying to grow the citrus with the mold. The mold will grow, and it seems to me that the citrus seedlings are pretty much unaffected. So I don't know. Now I am transplanting out one of the apricot seedlings that I had grown from a pit. I just had it in this cup outside all winter so that it could, I guess, stratify a little bit. I'm not sure how much cold stratification apricots really need. It seems like they burst out quite readily now that it's, early springtime. And I've decided I'm going to start filling in this wood-chipped strip of side yard with fruit trees. This is the sunniest area of the garden, and so it is good for annual production. You can see here I have artichokes, I have fava beans, I think I have a daikon radish, somewhat close to where I'm squatting. And now I'm putting in this apricot tree, and I'm intending to put more fruit trees over in this area, ones that will want to have a full sun environment. So this is the plan. Once these trees grow up larger and shade out any annuals that I might want to be growing in this area or sun-loving perennials, then I can just extend the garden area further out into the lawn. So that is the plan. Also, it does get incredibly hot and very sunny in summer in this area, and it might actually be good to have some dappled shade from fruit trees. So we will see how this all pans out, but I am going to gradually be converting this area into fruit tree production. This is the idea, at least. So yes, here you can see the tiny little apricot tree. I'm very excited. There are lots of trees popping up right now. So over here I have a little mimosa tree that I had grown from seed. They grow in my neighborhood all over the place. I know that they're an invasive tree, and it might be a little bit contentious to grow one on purpose, but I started three trees from seed. If you nick the seed coat with, I don't know, some scissors, and you soak the seeds in water, you can get them to germinate quite easily. So that's what I'd done last, I don't know, summer or spring or something, just with some seeds from a neighbor's tree. And I grew one in the front yard. That one died. I'm not sure why. And these two I've just been keeping in these tiny little containers all winter. They lost all their leaves. And these are perennial flower seeds. I'm not quite sure what they are. Or maybe they're bachelor's buttons. I don't know. Some flowers that are around in this pot. Partly so that I remember to water things. I do that with things that might seem like they're dead or a little bit slower growing. I'll put some flower seeds in so that I remember to keep things alive. So anyway, I have this mimosa planted out in this side yard as well. And the idea here is so that I can grow my own biomass, I guess. My own like nitrogen fixing chop and drop type of tree. And I'm hoping, I know one of the problems with growing this tree is that it prolifically makes seeds, and so I'm thinking I can maybe chop off the seed pods before they mature so that that is not a problem. It's also already so pervasive in my neighborhood that I don't think having a couple extra trees will really do anything. But that's my opinion. We'll see. We'll see. Here I am harvesting some mint and some arugula and some other things over in this bed. I recently knit and crocheted this bag. I've started to get a little bit more into my old hobby of knitting and needlecraft type stuff, and so I'm using it as a little harvest bag, and I quite like it. It has a very sturdy bottom. I'm thinking of maybe going through a bunch of the yarn and material that I have, working through it, creating bags and other things, and perhaps selling them. We will see. I am making them to make them and not to keep them, I guess. So the mint in this bed is such a problem sometimes. It was growing here when I moved in, and I would not choose to put mint in this bed. But while it's here, I will continue to harvest it. So here you can see I have some potatoes popping up in this arugula and mint patch. The arugula is really starting to be on its last legs. It's starting to shoot up and go to seed. So I'm down to some of my last harvest, at least until it reseeds. Well, I don't know how well it will do once the temperatures start to heat up, which they will be doing soon. But I'm guessing this big flush of arugula is probably over. So in this area where I have some potatoes, they're getting a little bit shaded out by all of the plants here. So I am really just chopping down the weeds, the mint, and the arugula surrounding them, and laying them down to kind of mulch these potatoes. So hopefully they will do well. I love potatoes. I grew potatoes for the very first time last spring, and those were just with grocery store potatoes. This year, I have my own potatoes from last year as my potatoes to grow this year, and additionally some grocery store potatoes that had already started to grow as well. So we have lots of potatoes growing, including the ones that were lost or forgotten last springtime in the soil. Some of them on purpose because they were green, so those were just left in the soil to be the potatoes for this year. Oh, my cat. Gordon is such a love in the garden. He loves to follow me around wherever I go out there. So, keeping in line with my goal for this year, I am still weighing my harvests and counting, quantifying the different things that I have harvested. So here you can see this is a lot of mint, which I have drying outside. It's been drying outside this whole week. I kind of ran out of space indoors, honestly. So it's just been sitting on a chair in the sun. And then here we can see some mustard greens, some cauliflower greens, arugula, really big, beautiful arugula you can see here, and all sorts of things. Honestly, it's a little bit much to keep up with when it's so much greens, because I think it might, I lack creativity when it comes to greens. So there's only a few recipes that I really make, and it's sauteed greens or a salad, or it's like food processed greens that I put on toast, which I quite enjoy. Quite enjoy all of them, but it does get a little bit monotonous when every single harvest is just a bunch of greens. So I need to either get a little bit more creative or just suck it up and eat the food. So I think I might cook some shortly after this voiceover is finished and eat some food. It'll be a nice treat. So I'd like to hear how your I guess for a lot of folks, I'm in California 9A, I think. Whichever 9 is the warmer of the 9s. And my growing season is clearly very long, and even in winter I can grow many things. So I'm very fortunate in that regard, but I'd like to know how your February has gone, especially in terms of gardening. Are you starting seeds indoors? How's all of that going? So let me know. And as always, thanks for watching.